If this message reaches you, it is meant for you. For anyone who has tried everything and still feels tired inside, you are not the mind. Listen. By now, you've discovered something essential. Life does not transform through effort. It transforms through awareness. In the first part, you learn that the word is consciousness itself. In the second, you learn how to rest in it. Now, in this final part, we move into what Joel Goldsmith considered the most mature stage of spiritual living. Living from the Word while fully engaged in the world. This is where most teachings stop, but Joel went further. He understood that people don't live in monasteries. They live in families, jobs, bodies, and responsibilities. So the real question becomes, how do you live from truth when life is loud, demanding, and unpredictable? Joel's answer was simple, but not easy. You stop trying to protect yourself. Most inner tension comes from one quiet belief that you are a separate person who must manage, defend, and secure life. From this belief comes anxiety, control, resentment, and exhaustion. Joel taught that the moment you recognize yourself as consciousness itself, this burden dissolves. You are no longer carrying life. Life is expressing through you. This changes how you face everything. A woman once told Joel, "I understand the teaching, but when problems come, I forget everything." Joel smiled and said, "That is not failure. That is practice." He explained that spiritual maturity is not about never reacting. It's about how quickly you return. Each time you remember truth instead of staying lost in fear, consciousness deepens. This is where compassion for yourself becomes essential. You are undoing a lifetime of conditioning. Be gentle. Joel taught that advanced living is not about fixing problems faster. It is about being less disturbed by them. When you are no longer shaken internally, the outer situation loses momentum. Calm is not weakness. Calm is authority. A man working in a high-pressure corporate role came to Joel, overwhelmed by deadlines and constant stress. He said, "I try to stay peaceful, but the job demands too much." Joel asked him a question that changed everything. "Do you believe your supply comes from your job?" The man answered yes. Joel replied, "Then fear is logical. But if supply is consciousness, the job is only a channel." The man began recognizing each day that his true source was not the office, the boss, or the paycheck. Slowly, his relationship to work changed. He still worked hard, but without fear. Opportunities expanded. Pressure eased. He didn't escape the world. He stopped being dominated by it. This is what Joel meant by being in the world but not of it. In relationships, this recognition is even more powerful. Most conflict comes from expectation. We want others to behave a certain way so we can feel safe. Joel taught that when you rest in truth, you stop demanding fulfillment from people. You meet them without need. And when need disappears, love flows more freely. A husband and wife came to Joel on the brink of separation. Both were convinced the other was the problem. Joel didn't take sides. He taught each one privately the same thing. Your peace does not come from this relationship. It comes from consciousness. As each stopped trying to get something from the other, the atmosphere changed. Arguments softened. Listening returned. The relationship healed not through effort, but through inner freedom. Joel emphasized that the greatest gift you can give another person is not advice, correction, or sacrifice. It is seeing them in truth. When you recognize someone as consciousness rather than personality, you stop reacting to appearances. This creates space for transformation. Living from the Word also changes how you face uncertainty. Most people fear the future because they believe it is unknown and unsafe. Joel taught that the future is not created later. It already exists in consciousness. When you rest in truth now, you are aligning with what is already whole. A man once said to Joel, "I'm afraid of what might happen." Joel answered, "Nothing real can threaten what you are." This was not comfort. It was truth. Consciousness cannot be damaged by events. When this is recognized, fear loses its grip. One of the most advanced practices Joel taught was silent trust. Not trust that things will go your way, but trust that whatever unfolds is held in intelligence greater than personal understanding. This does not mean passivity. It means surrendering the illusion of control. Many people confuse surrender with giving up. Joel clarified that surrender is the end of resistance, not the end of action. You still act. You still decide, but you are no longer forcing outcomes. This is especially important in health challenges. Joel never encouraged ignoring symptoms or rejecting medical help. What he emphasized was not granting illness authority over identity. You are not a body hoping to be healed. You are consciousness experiencing a body. This shift removes fear, and fear is often the strongest obstacle to healing. As you live this way, something profound happens. Life becomes simpler. Not because circumstances disappear, but because you stop arguing with them internally. You respond instead of react. You listen more. You trust more. You rest more. Joel said that eventually recognition becomes automatic. Just as you no longer think about breathing, you stop thinking about practicing truth. It becomes your natural state. This is not a peak experience. It is a grounded way of living. The final realization Joel offered was this: you are not here to perfect a personal life. You are here to allow consciousness to express itself through you uniquely. When you stop trying to become something, you allow being to move freely. This ends comparison. This ends self-judgment. This ends spiritual ambition. You are enough because consciousness is enough. If you are listening to this and feel a quiet sense of relief, that is not emotion. That is recognition. Something in you remembers. You don't need to memorize these words. You don't need to repeat them. You only need to notice when you forget and gently return. Rest is not something you do after life is handled. Rest is how life is handled. If this series has helped you feel steadier, calmer, or more grounded, take a moment to like this video so others can find it. Subscribe for more Joel Goldsmith inspired teachings and practical spiritual wisdom. And comment below, "I live from the Word." Let that be your quiet declaration.